Let us get started with our meeting, Rendezvous with Toastmasters. And our rendezvous with Toastmasters in today's meeting is first going to be with prepared speeches. Okay. And the first speaker today is as a special Toastmaster. Okay, just a second. Okay, so she's going to attempt her second speech of level 1 from the path innovative planning. Okay, and before I introduce her, I will like to request her evaluator, Toastmaster Rajendra, to read out the objective of her speech, please.
Sure. So my dear target speaker, Toastmaster Vidita, she's going to attempt her second speech of her pathway innovative planning. Okay, so she already delivered her first speech and she's going to incorporate the feedback what she got. So the project name is Evaluation and Feedback. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate he or she has applied the feedback received from her first speech. So over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Yeah, thank you, evaluator. Okay, and now about the speaker, she's a Toastmaster since May 2019. So about it will be 3 years very soon. She's a member of STS Banner Club. Okay, that is another Toastmasters club if you don't know. And she is a technical lead by profession, and she has passion for any open source products. Okay, and I have read a fantastic article by Mark Anderson. He said open source is free but is not free. Okay, and that is where the business is. And she also loves to explore many such open source products. Okay, and other than work, she likes to spend her time in writing poetry. Okay, and tech blogging. One right brain, another for the left brain. Okay, and please put your hands together for our first speaker and the only speaker of today, our club coach, Toastmaster Vidita Ked. Over to you, Vidita. Can you just check your audio and video? We can see you.
Am I audible and visible?
Yeah, you are audible as well.
Okay. DTM Summit, my speech title is How Much is Too Much? Maybe you'd like to introduce that?
Sure.
How much is too much?
How much is too much? Toastmaster Vidita. Toastmaster Vidita, how much is too much? Over to you.
Hey, isn't that too much oil in your dish? I think you're eating too much rice and all of that will go around your waist in no time, you see. How many of you all have heard this phrase in your daily life? Give me a raise of hands, please. Okay, I do see a few hands. Oftentimes, when we show our concern to others, we are termed as too caring or too much. And that makes me wonder, what is the yardstick that people are using to gauge me? How to find out that what is too much for me or for you or for anyone else? Let's find out that in my today's speech, in the areas of dietary habits, lifestyle, and in life generally. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, dear guests, and the Toastmaster of the Day, DTM Summit. I am here to deliver my Level 1 Project 2 of the Pathways Innovative Planning with the speech title, How Much is Too Much? Starting with the field of dietary habits, these days we see a lot of people keeping a check on their diets, or they are aware of what they are eating on a daily basis. Some prudently follow it and some moderately follow it. I am from the category of moderation. I always keep a check on my diet whenever I'm going outside, eating out, and do a quantitative check on the amount of sugar, fats, etc. But the definition of moderation changes from person to person. Everything in moderation is a very simple piece of advice every nutritionist gives these days to promote healthy eating habits. But I have also seen that the definition of moderation changes in the same person in the different situation and the basis of mood in which they are. And that defines that what they are going to eat or indulge into. In all such situations, I always listen to the signals which my body gives to me. That helps me to gauge the quantities of food I intake, and therefore I would like to depend on my bodily rhythm. Talking about the field of social media, everything is too much these days. Too much content, too much mindless scrolling, too much wastage of time. When there was a stricter lockdown, social media was our window to look outside our houses and beyond our streets. But slowly, when the time passed, I felt that I was getting too much involved in that, and that was eating up my whole of my natural CPU. Therefore, I decided that I would like to keep a check on that. And I deleted all the app versions of the social media apps that I had in my mobile and switched to the web version of it. So that in that way, I tricked my mind to not use it occasionally, and I do not get those notifications so fast. Slowly, by following it over a period of 3 months, now I am in my own control and keep checking my feeds only when I like to, and that has helped me. Coming to think of this phrase, how much is too much now in the emotional spectrum of light? We get to hear that you are worrying too much, you are happy too much, or you're caring too much. What is this too much? It could be different for me, it could be different for DTM Summit, it could be different for Toastmaster Rajendra. How do you gauge your emotional spectrum and keep a check on it? If you ask me, if I'm getting indulged into something or someone and I'm not reciprocated back in the same manner, what do? I draw a boundary. Yes, that boundary keeps me in check so that it is not affecting my peace of mind. It is very important that we know that how much of the emotions can we intake and how much of the emotions can we keep in check by drawing a boundary. We do a lot and then we expect and fall into the trap of this expectation cycle. Rather, we should do our best and forget the rest. I know it is easier said than done, but that is the only sustainable way of living a life full of contentment and peace. Don't you all agree with me? Now, if I have to combine all these three facets of life, from food to your time on social media or in general your life, I'd like to conclude by saying or summarize in a way that to each his home. Every person has in this Toastmasters meeting room have their own definition of moderation or the own definition of boundary, and that can also stretch in different situations. To me, I always say that if I'm not drifting a lot from my fundamental value system in pleasing other people, I'm just doing fine. And trust me, sometimes we have to keep telling ourselves this. To keep a check on ourselves, we have to connect to our inner conscious. And that helps me all the time because often times we are looking for this affirmation from outside, the validation from outside, but all of that lies within us. Don't you think so? Tio Modi, back to you.
Absolutely. Please have a big round of applause for Speaker Vidita. This is a fabulous speech. How much is too much? And please share your feedback with her on the chat. Okay.